cosmic for the word. So, you know what? That was awesome. That was awesome, Aim. That was awesome, Diamonds. I got to tell you, that was really, really awesome. So, on that note, let me go to some real music. Not, I'm not talking about the music. I'm talking about the singing. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. We're gonna have to do that again. I'm gonna have to find another Diamond Delight. I know Bron Man wanted me to. He didn't say he wanted me, but to sing. I don't think anybody really wants me to sing, but that was fun. And you know what? I'm sweating. It's like I've been on stage something. The effect that it has on you. You just can't get with that. So here's Tyreek, and he's my God, and he is because he protects my crazy behind. I'll be right back.
So I want to talk to you about friendship. The story is told about a guy who woke up one morning and he thought to himself, this is an amazing day. And he said, I think what I'm going to do to enjoy this amazing day is I'm going to go outside and I'm going to go for a walk. And so he went outside and he went for a walk and he looked around and he saw just how beautiful creation was. And while he was walking, he tripped and he fell in a hole. And this hole was a dark hole, a deep hole, and when he hit the surface of the bottom of that hole, he was hurt. And he looked up and he thought to himself, how am I going to get out of this hole? And time went by, and there were no people who seemed to notice that he was in this dark place. And then he heard the pitter-pat of a sound above him, and he thought, wow, this is someone who's going to be able to help me. And the person walked up and he looked down in the hole and he said, man, you're in a hole. That must really be tough. I bet you'll be able to get out of it. I'll see you later. Of course, he thought to himself, that was not helpful. And then time went by and it got a little bit more darker and a little bit more cold, and he went from being in a hole of pain to being in a hole of hopelessness. And someone else walked by and looked down in the hole and said, man, you're in a hole. What did you do to get in that hole? I mean, were you just not paying attention? I mean, do you have some sort of problem? You need to just kind of get your act together and get yourself out of the hole. And then the person walked off. And all of a sudden, that hole went from being a hole of pain to being a hole of shame. And you know what shame is, right? S-H-A-M-E, should have already mastered everything. And then, just before he was about to give up all hope, some other person who he didn't even know jumped down into the hole with him. And he was so surprised, and he turned and he looked at this person. He said, what are you doing? I mean, don't you see how dark this hole is and how deep it is, and now I couldn't get out of it. Now what are we going to do? What are we going to do about this predicament that we're in? And to his surprise and to his delight, this guy looked at him and said, "Buddy, I heard you crying. So I came to get in this hole with you. Because I want you to know that I've been in this hole before. And I know the way out." And so slowly, relying on each other, they went from this hole of darkness into the light. You know, I'm not really sure in this modern age if we really have any sense of what friendship really is. I mean, we have so many different concepts of what friendship is. And with the advent of social media and all of our various connections, all of our friends, and if we're honest, we have friends that we don't even know, don't we? And we're linked into all kinds of relationships, and we have networks, like crazy networks of people that we can go to if we need something, and we have all the information that we could ever imagine. I mean, all you have to do is just Google somebody, and you can find out what they ate for breakfast this morning. That, in my opinion, is too much information. But in spite of all of these connections, and all these networks, and all this information, if we're really honest, what we're missing in our lives more than anything else is what keeps us alive, and that's intimacy and connection. You and I are wired for intimacy and connection. We may not want to admit it, but we are. And there's such a strong correlation between our sense of well-being and our flourishing in life and whether we have those connections that we really need. Consider, for example, this pop question. What's the loneliest place in the United States? I'm going to give you a choice. Are you ready for this? Loving County, Texas, population 67, the largest land mass in the United States by county with the smallest population, or San Francisco? What's the loneliest place? Apparently you get more lovin' in Lovin' County. It's interesting, though, when you stop and think about it, that there really isn't a correlation between our intimacy and connection and people necessarily being around us. I mean, if we were really to stretch it out even to the most broadest sort of mind-blowing reality, why in a world of 7 billion people should any of us be lonely? Loneliness correlates directly with hopelessness. And conversely, friendship, connectedness, love correlates directly with our sense of hopefulness and our resilience, which is that capacity to deal with those challenges of life and get back up again and try again. There was a study done a number of years ago at a major university to sort of show this correlation between loneliness and hopelessness and connection and resilience. And what was asked was that people would climb a mountain, and the individuals were asked to climb a mountain, and then people were paired up as couples and were asked to climb a mountain. And you know what the statistics and research bore out. Those people who thought that they could climb that mountain by themselves ultimately scored the climb so much higher and more difficult than people who climbed with another person with them. In fact, the people that climbed the mountain with them not only scored the climb as less difficult, but they scored it as actually enjoyable. To be in joy is not necessarily to be in a place where you're just rocking it out, living the good life, being happy, happy, happy. To be in joy is to be in a place where you feel a sense of connection and hopefulness and the belief that no matter what happens, you'll find a way to live through the challenge. And yet we know also that not all friendship is equal. I mean, it would be nice, wouldn't it, if we could just sort of take friends, all of the people that we call our friends, and group them in one category and say they're all just the same in terms of what they offer us and what we offer them. But we know that's not true. So, thousands of years ago, Aristotle said that there were really three different kinds of friendships. And I think it's so true even to this day. The first category of friendships was what he called pleasure friendships. These are your ESPN and People magazine friends. These are people that are just so fun to hang out with.